Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, before we go to our next guest, let's go to Hannah Richards for another yummy and nutritious recipe.
Hi, my name's Hannah and this is the Move 360 kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favourite desserts, which is called monkey nut pie. So here I've just frozen 2 bananas, well, kind of frozen them, but they just need to they need to be cold. So 2 bananas chopped, put them into the blender, like that. And then take a nut butter. There are lots of really good healthy nut butters these days, so make sure you choose a really good quality brand, and 2 tablespoons into the blender as well. And then this is just coconut milk. So we're going to pour some of this in, and it's a little bit thicker than coconut milk, and so it gives it a nice consistency. Okie dokie. And pour it out. The more banana you put in, then the thicker that will be. But that's a sweet treat for children when you don't want to feed them really sugary laden ice creams. Monkey nut pie.
Thank you, Hannah. I'm definitely going to try that recipe. So now I'd like to introduce Diana Parkinson. Hello, Diana.
Hello.
Now, the viewers do know you because you have been on the show before.
Oh, good. Maybe they'll remember.
They'll remember, yeah, definitely. So we're going to continue the theme of the alcohol consumption. So obviously we spoke with Hilary before about people that like to drink socially, and obviously the dangers of alcohol. But people do drink socially, and that's always going to happen, which is fine. You know, people like to do that, like to use it to relax and stuff like that. But let's talk about those people that drink to escape some kind of issue they're going through, or some kind of problem, because obviously that's going into dangerous ground now, isn't it?
Yes, lots of people do that. So often when people come to me for therapy and they start talking about, because they're going through difficulties in a relationship or at work, that what they're doing is trying to escape through drinking and drinking too much, and then that causes a whole raft of other problems. So then I'm working with people really in order to take control of their life, to manage their life, to find other ways of relieving stress rather than using booze, because booze is the most commonly unprescribed drug, if you like, that we use. It's because it's there, it's easy to use, and we think it helps us feel better, but actually it doesn't. So it's fine in moderation. You know, the odd glass of wine will do nobody any harm. It's when we start to rely on it as a means of relieving stress. So if we start drinking a bottle of wine a day, we're going to be in trouble and feel awful the next day too.
That's right, as Hilary was saying before as well. Now, I don't drink anymore, but I used to drink, more socially when I used to go out to clubs and stuff like that, but I also used to consume alcohol at night because I couldn't sleep. And because I was depressed and I didn't want to, I was sort of scared of having a panic attack. So I used to try to have all this alcohol.
I say alcohol causes depression, causes anxiety, and panic attacks, and it affects sleep. Right. So lots of people think that they will sleep better if they have some alcohol, but actually what happens is it just knocks you out, and you go to sleep for a few hours, and then usually you'll wake up and your sleep will be disrupted, and you don't get quality of sleep. So it's better to do it sober. The thing is to be able to enjoy a drink socially, but to be very careful about the amount you drink, to intersperse it with soft drinks, water, whatever, and to find other ways to reward yourself, because alcohol hits the reward receptors in the brain. It makes us feel good, that we can celebrate, and because it sort of shuts us down, we become less inhibited, we feel freer. But it's a myth really, it doesn't really happen, it's just pretending, and then we feel bad the next day. So it's finding other things that reward you, like food is, you know, having a delicious meal is nice, but don't drink too much booze or you're missing out on the taste of the food. And go and do things like exercise, riding a bike, going for walks, all those things help us to feel good, feel better. You know, maybe make something special with, I don't know, nice coffee and cake.
That's what we were speaking about during
Yummy
the break, because
things.
it's become a lot more acceptable now for people to say, let's go for a coffee rather than let's go for a drink.
Yeah, and that's really nice. I mean,
good.
it's nice. You can get special china for your coffee or your tea or whatever, and a cake stand, and make that special. I think it's the thing that we take those things often for granted. So drink seems something special. Well, let's make other things special, and then we can be rewarded and stay healthy
It makes
and
sense.
young, because alcohol is very aging.
I think that's just a brilliant reason for people to stop.
Oh, I
especially
think
for
it's
the
an
ladies.
excellent reason. Yes,
And I don't think
really,
people know about it.
No,
Not
but
many
it
people
really
know.
does make a difference to how we look. Absolutely, it affects our body in every way, but it's very aging.
Okay, it's good to know. Now, obviously, for people that do want to stop completely, they've realised that, you know, they've crossed the line, that it's starting to affect their family life, it's starting to affect other areas of their life. What kind of things would you suggest for that person to be completely
people who
alcohol-free?
are then called alcoholics, that label, but there are people that really have to stop drinking because the amount they're drinking is killing them. But you know, fortunately, they're not the majority. The majority of people are probably, we have a lot of people that just over imbibe, but yeah, there are people that just have to stop, and they really have to stop, but it's very difficult. If I sit with somebody and say, you really need to stop drinking now, tell me honestly how you feel when I say that. And what they tell me when they're being honest is they can't envisage life in that way, which is why we have wonderful organisations like Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's taking it a day at a time. So it is, you know, why just take it, today I'm not drinking, rather than thinking I will never drink again as long as I live. It's just today I won't drink. But I would say if there's any of your viewers that are really concerned, please go to your doctor, talk to your doctor. Very important, talk to your doctor, because it can be very dangerous withdrawing from alcohol. If people have been drinking heavily throughout the day, every day, it's more dangerous than withdrawing from heroin, and most people don't realise that. Yes,
oh gosh, I didn't
so
know
they
that.
must go to the doctor, and the doctor can give them medication or refer them, but they'll be put on medication if they're stopping.
That's the thing. So they shouldn't, you know, expect to do this on their own, and it's no shame in asking for help and going to your doctor and getting counselling if they need to.
But people do have lots of problems. People feel guilty, they feel ashamed. It's really, no, there's lots of help out there. There's lots of help.
Definitely.
Just ask for help.
Now, do you think people generally drink just because other people are, and they just want to sort of keep up with everyone
Do you
rather
mean
than
peer
actually?
pressure, probably?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, I think for most of us it feels like we're having a good time. It's about party, and most of us like that. Some people will only be able to have a few drinks and they'll start to feel a bit sleepy and they're really not interested. But there are people who it affects in a way where they actually don't have an off switch, and they'll keep drinking and drinking and drinking. And those are the people that will have a problem. So it's just trying to, I think, make sure if you're having a party, have lots of other drinks. Don't just have the booze there. Have water, have lots of alternative soft drinks that people can have. And learn to have a good time without the booze, because it's often we're using it as a prop. What I say to people is, when you go out for the evening, I mean, these glasses are brilliant. Have a glass like this sort of size is great, with something that doesn't contain alcohol. By the time you finish drinking that, you will feel comfortable probably within your surroundings, and you won't feel so shy and self-conscious. We use alcohol as a prop to help us feel more confident. But if we are a bit shy and nervous, then we can end up drinking so much very, very early on in the evening that actually we're in a bit of a mess after about an hour. So start with a long soft drink, and then go on to having whatever your drink of choice is, and then intersperse again with a soft drink, and you will have a much nicer evening. You will remember everything. and their embarrassment, and you
Haven't
wake up
punched
in the
someone
morning,
or offended your boss or something.
Yes, yes, all those awful things that we all do if we have too much to drink. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know about this, but it's quite intriguing the way different people react to alcohol. For example, you get those people that drink and they become quite pleasant and outgoing, and then you get others that are really horrible. they start swearing, they start being quite violent. Do you know why that happens? Is it something to do with their personality already, and the alcohol just brings it out?
Well, it is, but because alcohol, what it does is, as soon as alcohol goes into our body, it starts shutting us down. So though we think we're relaxing, we're not, we're just shutting down, we become less inhibited. And we will do things, we become more primitive in our behaviour, and that's why we get such an increase in violent behaviour. Of course, not everybody is going to be like that, but an awful lot of people are. We know that, I mean, it's well documented, and it's very frightening. So people under the influence of a lot of alcohol will behave appallingly and, you know, commit terrible deeds. And also, if people are, once they've had a certain amount of alcohol, and are less inhibited, they're more likely to try other things like other drugs. And if you mix something like cocaine and alcohol, that can be extremely dangerous. And I've unfortunately had dealings with that through people that have been referred to me, through things that they've witnessed where it's resulted in a death that's been you know, very violent and hugely distressing.
Okay.
So we need to be careful.
Definitely. Diana, thank you so much for that great advice. Thank you. Okay, so do stay tuned because we have one more section, and this time it's with self-development coach Chris Brown talking about how to live life to the full, and I'll also be answering a question from a viewer.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.